I bet some of you guys are just brimming with worry right now, bracing yourself for some overly saccharine message from Carolina's own positivity professor. And I just want to assure you this is not it. What Bobby McFerrin couldn't have known when he penned 1988 Song of the Year was that his words of wisdom, although well-meaning, would not necessarily stand the test of time with respect to 21st century science. We now know that if you take too seriously this motto of be happy, it actually backfires. It's a great way to make yourself miserable, in fact. One of my hopes before you leave today is, or before I get done speaking, is to share a slight tweak on these famous lyrics that would give you a motto to live by that is backed by science, because just like we need evidence-based medicine to have science inform the medicines we take, I think that there's a case to be made for evidence-based song lyrics so that we can have science back the songs that we hum. Now, song lyrics aside, it is my great honor to be part of this day, part of your celebrations, and honoring all of your achievements to all of those of you in fresh cap and gown, and to be part of your crew of family and friends and faculty that are in the stands here, just brimming with pride and love for you on this milestone day. My humble aim is to share with you 2 facts and 2 cautions about positivity, all backed by science, and to leave you whistling a slightly different version of this famous tune. Now, I want to assure you right from the start that taking this short amount of time to consider positivity is not an invitation to sweep problems and suffering under the rug. We still have wars and areas of political unrest around the globe. We still have children going to bed hungry at night. In your families, you still have the problems and difficulties that have beset you recently. And we all still have this terrible economy that is going to continue to affect you graduates personally. Now, taking time to think about positivity isn't an invitation to put your head in the sand about those problems. In fact, we know that holding the best and the worst of our human experience side by side is the secret to being resilient, to being able to bend without breaking and bounce back from hard times. And as we hold the good and the bad side by side, I think it's equally important to recognize that good experiences come in many different flavors. They are not just that jump for joy moment that you might hold in mind, but it also includes those quieter moments of positivity, feeling deep in your bones grateful for your current circumstances, or feeling just at one with your current surroundings, or more social moments like when you get to share a laugh or a loving embrace. Now, what does science have to say about moments like this? Well, the first fact I want to share is that positive emotions, positivity opens you. If you allow me to get poetic for just a moment, imagine that you are this water lily. It's before dawn and your petals are tightly around your face, functioning as blinders, really. If you can see anything at all, it's just what's squarely in front of you. But as the sun rises, things begin to change, and those delicate blinders pull away from your face, and your worldview literally expands. You see more. We know from science that your brain is like this water lily. Although the water lily opens and closes with the presence and absence of sunlight, your mind opens and closes with the presence or absence of positivity. There are now dozens of experiments that document this, that even when your intent is to just focus in on one thing, when your brain is under the influence of positivity, you cannot help but take in more of the context, more of the contextual surround. And that matters a great deal because it ends up meaning that you can remember the details of events better when those events occurred with positivity. You can come up with more ideas about what to do next, more solutions to the problems that you face when you're under the influence of positivity. And perhaps most importantly, when you're infused with positivity, you're more likely to see and feel connection and resonance between you and other people, where in an ordinary state we can often miss that. Now, writing in the 13th century, Rumi had a way of describing this. The poet Rumi, he said, "There is a way of breathing that's a shame and a suffocation. But there's another way of breathing." He called it a love breath that lets you open infinitely. So 8 centuries later, we actually have science to back up the essence of Rumi's message. And this is not the same old story about seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. It's a new story about how we see more. We see the broader context with positivity. It expands your worldview. It doesn't just tint it. And this expanded worldview is exactly what we all need, and as we're trying to solve these very entrenched problems that we face as individuals and as a global society. Those problems are nested within broader systems, and we need to be able to see the big picture and see that broader system if we're going to come up with the big solutions to those big problems. Now, so the first fact is that positivity opens you. The second fact is that positivity nourishes you. Just like fruits and vegetables provide you micronutrients that allow you to survive and thrive, positive emotions provide micronutrients that change you. Just like any living thing, you can either languish, barely holding on to life, or you could flourish, which is to become ripe with possibility and beautifully resilient. And people who flourish, they're not just happy. Sure, they are happy. They are happier than others, but more than feeling good, they feel good and they do good. They make a contribution to their communities and to the world around them. So flourishing is a noble goal. And we've learned that as people expend time and energy to increase their daily diets of positive emotions, those micronutrients, that they change themselves from the inside out. They become more mindful, more resilient. They build stronger and more rewarding relationships within their families and at work as well. They become physically healthier too. We've even found that the very basic rhythms of people's hearts change in a lasting way, reflecting greater calm, more nimbleness, and greater efficiency. The evidence is so compelling on this that my collaborators and I are now looking at the ways that positivity changes you at a cellular level by directing changes in gene expression. So in many ways, positivity is a powerful nutrient and possibly also a powerful medicine as well. And at some level, your body already knows this. If I can return to that water lily analogy from earlier, at some level, plants know that sunlight is crucial to their survival, and they turn towards sources of light and stretch themselves open to take in as much as they can. It's called the heliotropic effect. What we're finding in the science of positive psychology is that there's a similar heliotropic effect within humans, that at some level our bodies know that positivity is crucial for our survival, and we turn towards sources of positivity, and our minds stretch themselves open as wide as they can to take in as much as we can to survive and to flourish. Now, so the two facts are that positivity opens you and nourishes you. Now on to the two cautions. The first is that you can't fake it. Okay, a lot of times when people hear what the science has to say about positivity, they're tempted to just start humming, "Don't worry, be happy," and put a permanent grin on their face. This is the reason why a simple motto of "be happy" can often backfire, because people try to wear positivity as a permanent uniform. No emotion is meant to last forever, though, not even the ones that feel and do good. You just can't paper over honest distress with a smile. And the reason for that is that just like we need positivity to help us to flourish, we also need honest expression of negativity to flourish as well. Negativity is necessary, and I think to just help anchor this idea a bit, a sailboat metaphor is useful. You can take the mast of the sailboat, which towers above the boat and holds the sail, as positivity. Also on the boat, down below the waterline, is the keel, which can weigh tons. You can take that as negativity. You need both of them to sail. If you've ever sailed, you can imagine what it'd be like to just sail with the positivity, just with the wind in the sails. You'd have no control over the boat. You'd just be sliding around aimlessly. That negativity is really vital too. But the key is to keep positivity and negativity in proper proportion. And what we know about the proper proportion is that there appears to be a tipping point ratio at about 3-to-1. That for every one negative emotion that drags us down, we need at least 3 positive emotions to buoy us up. It's not 1-to-1 because negativity screams at you and positivity whispers, so that needs to be higher than 1-to-1. But for these emotions to light your path towards flourishing, they need to also be sincere and heartfelt and not forced. And this is where the motto of our beloved state of North Carolina can actually be a useful touchstone. And the motto is to be rather than to seem. So we need to be positive, not just seem positive. Those insincere positive emotions can actually create this sort of toxic insincerity that can be very harmful. It actually even leads to corrosive biochemicals in your bloodstream, so it's actually quite dangerous. The second caution I want to share with you is actually one that applies to you right now as you're sitting here listening to your own commencement address, and that is that many of the supports for your positivity are going to be removed as you move from this day forward. Positive emotions have nourished you, and they will become more important than ever for you to learn to nourish yourself with them, because those day-to-day sources of positivity won't always be there. And this is because for your life so far, so many other people have put a lot of effort into creating potent situations that would inspire your positivity. These people were your family, your friends, your coaches, your mentors, your classmates. Your family, for instance, far beyond providing food and shelter and clothing, from the day you arrived, have been orchestrating moments to inspire your positivity. At first, it was just through tickles and grins and games of peekaboo, and then later it was through family rituals that they developed, family rituals for mealtime, for weekends, for cherished holidays. And then when you arrived at Carolina, older students often created ice-breaking opportunities. Faculty gave you fascinating things to think about, and pep rallies and sports games and things for you to cheer on and participate in, of world-class performing arts. In short, you've benefited from a wide range of institutional practices and people and rituals that have stoked your positivity while you were here. All of this effort to make you feel good doesn't necessarily exist in this next chapter of your life. It's going to be more important than ever for you to learn what it is that makes you come alive. When this structural support is dismantled, you may not notice the effects right away. Some of you may notice, only 6 months from now or so that, somehow your life is a little less sparkly. Somehow your days may be less life-giving and more life-draining. It's really like learning to cook for yourself. When you were young, your parents cooked your meals for you. When you moved to Carolina, for many of you, the dining halls took that over. Now you need to learn to cook for yourself. How long will it take before you learn to put the proper proportion of positivity into your daily diet or onto your plate? For many who sat here before you at their own commencement and then went on into the real world, it took them years, even decades, to learn this really vital life lesson. You know, I can tell you that for myself, it took me easily 15 years before I realized that to be able to make a sustained contribution, that I would need to, in addition to working hard and taking care of my family, that I needed to plan my day and my week around ways to feel good, to regain that energy and nourishment. That we now know, too, that the extent to which you value positivity, the extent to which you learn this life lesson about nourishing yourself with positivity from within matters. It matters a lot. It predicts your likelihood of flourishing, your ability to make a lasting contribution. And we also are learning that this, the extent to which you understand and value positivity matters even more so, significantly more so, as you move on from the structure of university life and on to the next chapter. So with these two facts and two cautions out of the way, I just want to return to the song lyrics that I opened with here and give you a slight revision of Don't Worry, Be Happy, to give you a motto that is more consistent with the science, that it will allow you to live by it honestly. Now, the new motto is actually hidden in plain view on Franklin Street. So look, check out these monitors and see if you can spot it. Let's see, here it comes. Be open. Far better than making your motto, be happy, which can backfire because it can lead to this toxic insincerity. The motto, be open, is a way of lightly adopting the mindset of positivity. And the beauty of this motto is that it allows you to accept whatever it is that the present moment offers you. Now face it, a lot of the things that worry us happened in the past or may not happen in the future. And so when I hear don't worry, I think don't worry means don't spend so much time in this mental time travel. Because when you do, it can blind you to the sources of positivity that are right in your midst of the present moment. More often than not, the present moment is actually a gift. And yet the gifts of the present moment are often so subtle that we can miss them. Things like beauty, intrigue, comforts, kindness. If we're caught up in worry, we can miss those, and so we'll miss the opportunities to nourish ourselves and light our path towards flourishing. If you consider just for a moment the opportunity that you have in this present moment, right here, as you're celebrating this major achievement in your life. You're here, many of you, with family and friends and faculty who are excited to be sharing this momentous day with you. And my hope is that even if those people aren't here with you, the important people in your life, maybe they're just in your heart, my hope is that you can see them perhaps with a new light, to see how they have given you life, not just in the most obvious ways, but also in the more subtle ways that have given you life and nourished you every time that their presence melts your face into a smile. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to right now stand up and find your people in the stand. Yeah, you can stand. Yeah, find your people out here and let your thanks to them be known. Yes, thank you. All right, don't worry, be open. Big congratulations to all of you. Thank you very much.